Hello, everyone. Hello, Ingrid. How you doing? Welcome, everyone.
Hello. Hello, Carlos. How you doing? Hello, everyone. I hope that today that we're connecting a little bit earlier or earlier, it will work for more for like everybody. So we will
Yeah,
see. We will try this new schedule and see what happens.
yeah, we're excited.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us earlier. So, people
Yes.
in
Yes.
Europe, in UK, and Spain, they can watch us around 11 p.m. I think it is
Yes, that's
right.
we did this because of that request to just try to get everybody and like it's too late here. Can you guys try a little bit earlier? But I just understand that it's also probably too early here in the US for people going out from work and everything.
Hmm.
So I'm not sure. We will try and see how this goes. So it's all trial and error until we're able to kind of work it all out.
Everything. Yeah. Let's
Yes,
let's
yes,
wait
yes.
for everybody to join us here. More people is join us.
Yes, we have a good amount of people now joining in Instagram.
Hmm.
Good afternoon, and we got little
There you go,
sunshines.
Rim. Thank you for changing the time. Hello from UK. There we go. Thank
Yay,
you.
that's good.
Yay!
Yeah, we won. Oh, hi, Johan.
From Belgium. Hi, I'm
Yes,
following
wa-
from
and
Antwerp.
Reb, he's one of the ones that he was asking, just please change the time. Thank you, Johan, for being here. Then we're just trying to listen to everybody and make it
Nice.
work. We'll
Yes.
see. We'll see how it goes. How it goes. And how was your week, Carlos?
It was
Did you have a
amazing. It
good?
was, yeah, I went on, what was it, on Saturday before Easter. Um, every year, I've been going for 11 years. I have some friends, they invite me to Tennessee. They built Jerusalem on a
Oh,
university in Tennessee. It's called the Adventist Church, but all the religions can go and everybody can go, and it's free. And people from all over the world travel to Tennessee. This is by Chattanooga. It's called Collegedale, and they
oh,
build all Jerusalem. They have hundreds of actors on the street, and
wow.
yeah, they replicate when Jesus was walking. Uh, Everything that happened to Jesus there, and it's amazing. It's like 3 hours walking with Jesus is really beautiful. I've been going for 11 years. This year I took a family, a new family, and they were amazed for this place. It's called the Sunrise the Resurrection. Sunrise the Resurrection.
Wow.
S-O Rise. Sunrise the Resurrection. Really amazing. Really amazing.
That's beautiful. I imagine that it's just the perfect time to get together with family
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
also kind of like experience the time of
Reflection.
resurrection,
Yes.
reflection, the time of like Easter with the sense of being together with your loved ones. I think that's super important, and not just have. I mean, it's a week that is nice because for kids it's like a school vacation and everything
Yeah.
like that.
It's
But
a
it's like,
spring
what
break
if?
too.
Yeah, spring break. So what if we just add the spiritual part and the possibility to be in connection with the loved ones and maybe just understand a little bit in the heart the story or what happened to Jesus in the
Hmm.
moment where he had to experience,
And that's what
well,
is this
so much
this
pain.
this thing that I'm going. That's called the sunrise event. Is the Passion of Christ live, and you're going with Jesus all along the whole story. So even people that they don't know what happened or why we celebrate Easter, you go there and you know the whole story is in front of you, and it's live.
Wow,
It's
I
really,
love
yeah, it's
that.
really
That's
amazing.
just,
Next year you should come.
oh yeah,
I bring
yeah,
you with me.
I have to go. Yeah, let's do that. I will
Yes,
be
and
very
whoever want to
excited to
come,
do
let me
that.
know.
Yeah, you,
We
yes,
get some tickets.
yeah, that would be great. We would great. We have Yadira here, and we have
Yeah,
from New York,
yeah.
Goddess from New York. Hello. Oh, it's good to have everybody. Let me go check Instagram. See,
Yeah,
like
I'm
we have
checking
a
too right now.
long list of. We have somebody from
Checking.
Virginia.
Uh-huh.
We have somebody from Italy,
Uh-huh.
from Colombia.
Mm-hmm.
This is good. This is good. This way we just give time to for everybody to join us.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
It's
God is
always
65. Then in your
so
state. Yeah.
much fun. See, so much fun. So I think this was the perfect time actually to do this live stream with the subject we're going to um yeah, miracles unveiled, tapping into the eternal power of prayer, just
Yes.
coming from Easter and coming from such an important time for many people in humanity.
Yeah.
Um, here we gather to honor everybody and anybody, and as long as
Mm-hmm.
what we do from the heart. So
Oh
that's
yeah,
the
definitely.
important thing.
And the
Yeah.
power of praying. I mean, I have stories about the power of praying. I guess everybody that is watching have stories about the power of praying, and we just want to share that, and we want to let you know that you're not alone, and prayers works, and it's amazing what a prayer can do. I mean, there is a movie that I watch, and I recommend everybody to watch. It's called War Room, War Room. It's
Oh
about
yeah.
the power of praying, like how you can make possible whatever you want in your lives just to pray, and it was really amazing. Another movie that I watched with the power of prayer was um, Breakthrough. I don't know if you saw about the kid. This is a real life event that happened in north of the United States when a kid he drowned in a lake, frozen lake, and then the police department came, the fire department came. They took the kid out of the lake, but he was
Yeah.
completely frozen. His
Hmm.
heart already stopped. They took it to the hospital, and they tell to her mom, "Sorry, but we did everything we could, and we couldn't save him." So and this is on the trailer, so I'm not a spoiler. So this is on the trailer of the movie, and their mom started crying and said, "Like God, please." I'm begging you. And she
Yeah.
started praying, like, bring my son back. I asked to the Holy Spirit. And in that moment, the kid started breathing again. So the power of praying brought the kid back. Have you ever seen that movie?
Yes, I love that.
Breakthrough?
It was a very powerful movie. Yeah, it's and I don't know. I think it's based on a true story,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah, it is based on
Yeah.
the true story. My story was a year prior, so that's why I remember. My story was in
Yeah.
2015. This was in 2016. It came a year later after
Yeah.
my
Yes.
story.
Then if you anybody has a, of course, like we always say, questions or a story to tell, just write there in the comments, the chat, and then we will talk about it and we answer questions,
Yeah,
and always trying to share our own stories, because I think when you share your own story, you're
yeah,
sharing the truth. Is the
definitely.
truth of your experience, through your experience. Is like,
Hmm.
is sometimes when we tell the stories that happen to other people, yeah, that's powerful, but when you tell the story that happened to you,
Hmm.
is like, and things that actually reveal the power of praying, or reveal the power of the heart, or the power of love, or the power of connection, is just really become something pretty special.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I think that's what we come to do here with Carlos. And
And
so
you.
if anybody has a story, yes, then we will love to share it.
I recommend people to watch the movie 90 Minutes in Heaven. I think that's John Piper, that he was dying too, and then people start praying for him, and he started recuperating and getting better. So you can watch it. That's a real life event too. So you can watch it through there.
There was a story, I don't know, you have here. Mm, do you know Trisha Barker? She had a story when she had a near death experience,
Uh huh.
and I think she was at the hospital. And this is a situation, and this was kind of interesting because she had a car accident.
Hmm.
Her body was in a very, very bad shape, and people started to pray for her.
Hmm.
But this was a situation in which she could hear the prayer, but she was in this
Eternal.
Yeah, and in the position of thinking, I don't know if I want to go back. And she said, just for
Uh-huh.
you guys to know that really the power of prayer is that people
Hmm.
were praying as she could feel how the prayer was bringing her back.
Wow.
And then, but of course, at that moment, imagine it's like you're having fun in I always mention like having being in an amusement park, and you kind of having fun, and they're calling you to let's go. And she at that moment she was like, no, 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 I'm busy. I'm looking at this. I'm kind of having fun, but the prayer would pull her back. And almost think that if it wasn't for that prayer, she would not probably return. But it was so. It is another true story of how the
Testimony.
prayer, a testimony. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Testimony. How the prayer is
Bringing you back,
is
right?
that
It's a
connection.
power.
Yes, it's yeah. I don't find another word. It's just a power.
Yes, I have an uncle. When I was that happened in 1990. I was with my aunt. I went to visit an aunt that was 5 hours away from where I used to live, and I was with her. It was December 31st, 1990, and I remember we were waiting for my uncle. He was coming from work around 6 p.m. And me and my aunt we just sitting in the patio, just waiting. It was a big house with a big garden in the front, so we're just sitting in the garden, just waiting for him to arrive around 6. And 6 come, and my aunt said, "Your uncle is not here." I was like, "Yeah, maybe he's on traffic or something."
Mm.
And she's like, "No, he's always here at 6, so something is
Oh,
wrong." I was like,
oh,
"No, Aunt, everything's fine." She's like, "No, something is wrong." And in that moment, the phone rings, and it was the fire department to tell her that my uncle have an accident, and he
wow.
was really 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 bad. So my aunt
Mm.
starts screaming and crying. So she called my grandmother. My grandmother grabbed me and take me to her house. My aunt goes to the side where my uncle had the accident, and this is what happened. My uncle used to work for a big soda company, the biggest soda company in the world. I don't know the name. I don't want to say the name. And
Yeah.
at that time, I remember that he said his boss said, "It's Christmas time. I mean, New Year's, and I want you to take as a gift some bottles of whiskey to the best. How do you call it? The best customers that we have. I mean, big companies, you know." And
Hmm.
my uncle said, "Yeah, yeah, I'll take it."
Like the
So
best clients.
yeah, the best client. So he goes to the best clients that day on the 31st, on December 31st, and he's then going office to office to deliver this whiskey, right?
Hmm.
Just to say thank you for the business and everything. And two of these clients said to him, like, "No, no, 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 you're not gonna get out of here if you don't drink a shot of whiskey with
Oh.
me." And my uncle didn't drink at all, like zero, you know. So he did two shots, and what happened to him? His blood intoxicated with the alcohol because he never
Mm.
drank, so he didn't. So what happened to him? He was driving through a mountain, and he fell asleep when he was driving. So his car went all the
Oh.
way down through the mountain,
Oh
and if
God.
you see the car, it
Destroyed.
completely destroyed. It was a Capri Classic. You know the Capri Classics?
Yeah, and maybe the reason he survived is because he fell asleep and his body was just kind of like
Yeah,
at all.
and he was very
Oh
skinny, so he was,
wow.
yeah. But guess what happened? I don't know how he did, but he came out of the car.
The Capri Classic.
He went all the way to the
Yeah.
top of the mountain, and he started asking for help. Like, he was all like bloody and stuff, right?
Oh
And
my
people
God.
was like, "Oh my god, we need to call 911. We need to call 911." So everybody was like calling 911. Somebody brought like a white sheet and put it on him, and it was with blood, you know. And everybody, like, "Oh my god, look at him." Anyways, when my aunt arrived to the place where he was, the police was there, the fire department was there, and they carried inside of the ambulance. And the guys at the ambulance said, "I'm sorry, ma'am, but I don't think he's gonna survive. He's really bad. He's really, really, really bad."
Yeesh.
And they put it on the ambulance, and my aunt have like three three kids, like very little kids, you know.
Yeesh, like
And
he's not
she's
done.
yeah, That's what she said to him. You're not gonna leave me with these three kids right here. You're gonna come back. I just start praying,
I
come
dare you
on.
to go.
Yeah, yeah, that's what she said. Like, you're not gonna leave me. You don't go nowhere. You're not gonna die. Come on, you need to go back. I think
Oh
four
my
kids. Yeah, and you're
wow.
not gonna leave me with these four kids here. Come on, let's go. And then she started praying, like, God, please bring him back, bring him back, bring him back. And then he said, he told me, and I remember, he said, like, Carlos, I was going through this tunnel with the light at the end, and I was flying so peacefully, very slow to the tunnel. But guess what? Around me, there were animals. I saw horses, cows, dogs, cats. Everything was flying super fast to the light. But I don't know why I was going super slow to trying to reach the light, but I couldn't get it. But all these animals was like, when he listened that my aunt was praying for him to come back, he said, out of the sudden, I felt like something suddenly, and he went back to his body.
Oh
Yeah,
wow. Wow.
and
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
and he's still
Just
there.
again, like kind of
It was
like
like a vacuum, like a vacuum
yeah.
sucked him and brought him back. So yeah, the power of praying is very, very, very powerful. I don't know what the people think in the comments, but yeah, it's I have a lot of experience too, a lot of stories.
Yes, yes. For me, in one
Hmm.
of my experiences,
Uh
Carlos,
huh.
one of the ways that presented for me is that
Hmm.
there was a time, I think, for a long time in my life, I suffered from depression,
Okay.
and I had a deep, I call it existential depression because I didn't belong. I felt the sense I don't belong here,
Didn't
and
believe
for
here.
many years, I guess, due to the near death experiences, everything, I always felt like I was like an alien. And of
Stranger.
course, like we know, after having these experiences, you will not have had the possibility to integrate the experiences. It's
Yeah.
always going to be the feeling of I want to be
How
there.
long it took you to integrate everything? It took me 5 years to me to finally put
Oh
all the pieces together. I
no,
mean, it was
because I
hard
was
for me because I was asking everybody
yeah.
and nobody wants to tell me what this happened, until I went to Google and then I found out that it's a lot of people, millions of people
Yeah,
that have
yeah.
suffered this. But how long it took you?
Because I was a little girl.
Yeah.
Imagine, Carlos, nobody. At least now it helped you because the Google was there and the information is now
Yeah, but
here and more people with experiences. So it's like,
definitely.
oh, yeah, I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
In the past, for a
Uh-huh.
person that had a near death experience, it could take 30 years.
Wow.
It could take 40 years. And for me, that because it happened when I was just a little child and nobody
Hmm.
understood,
Definitely not.
it took about 30 something years to
Wow.
really integrate, and it was through TV. It was a TV show, and I started to say, oh, that's what happened to me, that's what
Oh, you
happened to
saw
me.
it on a
Yeah,
TV show. Wow.
yeah, and I'm like, that is what just happened to me. And the more I heard, I'm like, that is what happened to me, and that exactly
So you
happened. And
put
I
all the
started to
dots together. There you go.
yes. So, but for a long time, I carried with this was a lot of the sense of not belonging makes you just, I was just sad, very
Definitely.
sad. And there was a moment in my life when I just even reached the point where I thought I wanted to die.
Wow.
And the night in which I thought about committing suicide, Carlos, I mentioned this because it was through prayer that first it was the sense of
Everything's
peace.
gonna be
It was,
fine.
yes,
Yeah.
everything. And it was the voice that says, give yourself one more day.
Hmm.
Give yourself one more day. And in that prayer, I wasn't asking for things to change, like, God, take this away, God, change this, God, change. It was, God, please help me see.
Hmm.
I was asking to God to give me clarity, help. Because
Hmm.
sometimes, many times, the prayer is
Hmm.
or blaming God for something or asking God to give me, or change. What if instead is the change within me? God, help me see, please. Help me understand. Help me
Situation.
process this. Help me exactly. It's like, because the moment that we're able to see with the eyes of clarity,
You need
things
clarity. Yeah.
get resolved. And so I gave myself that night, and when I woke up in the morning, I heard with complete clarity the inner voice guided me
Mm-hmm.
to look for a psychologist, to look for help.
Mm-hmm.
And then through that help and everything that happened after that, I started to just
Integrated again. I'm
resolve,
glad.
integrate, and I could just integrate and yes, and everything started to make sense, and everybody that I needed in the past also started to appear, and things started to change. But for me, that was how powerful prayer was, in the sense of God help me see with the
Mm-hmm.
eyes of clarity. So that's the way I pray, and in my prayer is more the prayer of gratitude,
Yeah.
and give me understanding, because sometimes there's situations out there that if there's something we can change
Mm-hmm.
and we have the capability to change it, then we do it. But if we don't,
Mm-hmm.
then how can I see this with clarity?
Mm-hmm.
God help me.
Mm-hmm.
So that's for me
That's
that
the way that you see it. I just want to let you know that in my story, I prayed a lot when the doctor told me that I have the terminal cancer. There is no way to save me. And one day I was at home by myself and said, God, if you really are here, if you really can hear me, if you really exist, like I mean, I was a kid, but I said, if you save me from this, I pray for you. That I study in a Catholic school. They said if you pray with all your heart, from the bottom of your heart, and if you believe, like the mustard seed, that this is going to be
Mm.
possible, you're going to be safe. And that's what I did. And 3 months later, the cancer was gone. I did a
Wish,
promise.
yeah, yes.
The
Yeah, that's
promise was like,
powerful.
I'm going to tell the whole world that you're real because I'm going to be a living proof that you saved me. That's
Mhm.
what happened. Like after all these years, well, I have my second encounter with him. But I mean, uh, miracles work through prayer too. I mean, and what is prayer? For me, prayer is the form of communication with God, is the phone line that we have to say, hey, God, are you there? I need your help. And remember, I don't know if I told you in the other program that I said we have free will. If we don't open our mouths and say, hey, I need help, they don't want to help.
Yeah,
Jesus
yeah.
is not going to help. God is not going to help. Angels, if we have angels around us, they're not going to help. Why? Because that is our life, and if we don't open our mouth to say help, they will not come.
Yes, yes. And I love this other sentence. It comes from a really beautiful book that is called La Obra de Cristo,
Uh-huh.
the work of Christ.
Yeah,
And
the word
it's,
of Christ. Hmm.
yeah, and it says, pray the
Hmm.
same way, or pray with the same, I'm trying now to remember the sentence. Is pray the same way as you love with all your being.
Wow.
So if, just imagine if we just really dedicate that prayer the same way that we love others, the same way that we love nature, if we love even go shopping, that we love our children, that we love our pets. Pray with that intensity, with that open heart, with that love. And the other beautiful, beautiful sentence that I love from that book, it says, um, healing the body might take time,
Hmm.
but the one that prays with the heart
Hmm.
heals the soul.
Wow. There you go.
Yeah, because sometimes people are hoping that heal me right now. Organically, we might need time to heal.
Yes,
But if
definitely.
we really pray with the heart, wow,
Everything comes.
the
Remember,
healing comes from within. Yeah.
yeah, on Matthew, on the Bible, Matthew 21:22, he said, and all the things whatsoever you shall ask in prayer, believing you shall receive them, and they shall be done unto you.
Oh, I think we lost Carlos for a minute. Maybe he can connect and go back. But yes, yes, I know when Matthew is saying that in the Bible, is saying that believe, like really, really ask. I'm trying. I think I have it here. Let's see if Carlos can come back in a minute. He says everything you ask in prayer will be received, and we have heard that when it says ask and it will be given. So that is the power of praying with the heart. And let's see if Carlos can come back. Oh no, he just completely out. So it's okay. We keep conversing too while Carlos, I have Ingrid and Carlos, can you please clarify who we're supposed to pray to God, to the angels, to the universe? I am a little confused about that part. I think when I do the prayer is, what do you feel in your heart? What is the connection that you feel? I mean, some people feel that the word God. Let me just, guys, let me see quick that Carlos is trying to. Oh, his computer just crashed, but he is coming back in a minute. So he said he's coming back soon. So we just tell him, okay, Carlos, we're here. All right. Then I always go with, for some people, when they're mentioning the word God, they feel the sense of there's been so much conditioning around the word God that the sense is like, oh, I'm not sure, or I don't feel the connection. But if you feel in your heart that the connection is with the creator of all things, or the sense of the cosmic universe or source or nature, as or the mother earth, or what makes you feel a sense of being inspired, the sense of being connected, the sense of being alive. Is this being is Jesus, or this being is the Buddha, or this being is whatever, or Krishna, whatever makes you feel in a state of elevation and connection, and that you're embraced, and that you're not alone, and that you feel this sense of opening of the chest and the heart, then that's what you do. And you just do it with feeling the sense of connection with the whole. Sometimes we feel this connection with the whole planet, or sometimes we feel this connection with the whole nature. And it's this feeling of, when you pray, how can I feel openness and understanding and peace and calmness and connection and clarity? And when we do it this way, then we're honoring whatever our heart feels connected with. Some people feel, yeah, and this is another thing I love to, this teaching I received from the Being So Light. There was I was talking about omnipresence, and because many people talk about how can an angel, or how can, because people mention, for example, Archangel Michael, or the angels, and how this being or this angel can be omnipresent. How can something be all over the place at the same time? And to be able to understand that power of presence, the Being So Light shared with me something really funny. uh, I was that day giving a talk, and we were all together online, and somebody asked this question, and I said to the Being So Light, give me an analogy where I can express, or I can teach others that power of omnipresence. And then the Being So Light said to me, it's like the Zoom. Look, at this moment you were sitting in your computer, and you were surrounded by, or you were connected by, a lot of people from all over the world. At that moment is like becoming omnipresence. But the most important thing about connection is that you have to ask for the link, and you have to click the link. Because if we don't ask for the link, again, like Matthew was saying, about praying to be able to receive, if you don't ask, it cannot be given. And now, say that you receive the link, now you have to make the effort to connect with the link. And that connection, you make it through prayer, or you make it through what we call meditation. And maybe another word for meditation, when people are not really too close to the word meditation. What about a moment of contemplation, a moment of reflection, a moment of insight? So I'm going to check on Carlos quick. I don't know why he's not being able to connect. Ah, Carlos is saying, I'm coming in and I'm praying so hard. So he's praying to get into, he's reconnecting. So he's coming, he's praying to be able to get back into our conversation. So Rima, thank you. I'm glad that this help. I hope, yeah, this help with your question. And this is another thing about the power of prayer. I'm going, while Carlos gets back, I'm going to tell you another story. Last year my husband needed a back surgery, and he had been with tremendous pain for like 15 years, 18 years. But the past couple of years, it was like this excruciating pain, to the point that he was afraid of surgery. But there was a moment where, I mean, we did everything in our power for that pain to go. Nothing worked. So it was like, okay, it's time to have surgery. And then imagine the fear, because it's always this thing of like, there's the possibility that you will never walk again. And when he went into surgery, it's supposed not to be that long, maybe about an hour surgery. And I went into the chapel and in the hospital, and I just went into, it was very beautiful, very quiet. It's good to be in quiet space. And if somebody doesn't feel the call of being into a chapel, go to nature, go to a park, go to a quiet space where you just feel and have the possibility to just pause and quiet the mind and breathe deep and connect. And then I am in this moment of prayer when I hear very clearly the voice said to me to create a prayer, like a chain, a prayer, a groove prayer. And I always have prayed, but I've never been the kind of person that, yeah, call like a bunch of people. I am kind of private in that sense. Then call a bunch of people to pray together. That's never kind of been me. But it was clear. The message was clear. And the message said that if I form a group and we pray together, the angels, call it the beings of light, a spirit, was going to do the surgery, was going to be part of the surgery through the hands of the doctor. So, or the doctor, let's call it, when we talk about in terms of the Holy Spirit, that he was going to be inspired by the light. So that's the things what happen when we pray. Those are the miracles. We are elevating the vibrational frequency, and we are allowing the forces that are creative, the forces that bring healing, the forces that bring harmony, balance, love into action. So at that moment, I felt that presence. And this is so powerful, so incredible, that after my husband being not free from pain for 18 years, they did the surgery. And the surgery, like I said, supposed to last for almost 1 hour. It lasted for 2 hours. And it's because the doctor, with all the precision, did everything that was needed for his back to be in perfect shape. And he healed really fast, and he's been completely healed from what was bothering his back for so long. But there was another thing on top of the surgery, because it's incredible how everything operates together. And is that we had also received the message that it was important that my husband would do inner work too, because when we do inner work, we elevate our vibrational frequency, all of us. So his inner work, he he reads a lot, but it was like it's important to be in quiet, to be in the prayer. So he was in that place of doing inner work too, because when we change within, again, we allow the doors for the synchronicities, for the right people, for the right doctor. And incredibly, my husband was guided to the right doctor. So that's what we do when we connect in prayer. So let's see, we have some questions here, and I don't know, I think Carlos, his computer really crashed badly. Oh, I don't know what he's saying. He's in the system. Oh, he's here.
Uh-huh.
Lost. I was able to take few stories. I told the story of my husband that,
Uh-huh.
like the being so like saying, if you make a group prayer, we can,
Yes.
or light, I would just say the being so light, the inspiration, the spirit can operate through the hands of the doctor. So that was just a very beautiful story. But we have here question:
Yes,
what
sure.
if prayer is not God's will? Hmm, I'm not clear about this
What if
question.
your prayer is not God? I have an example. Years ago.
Yes. What is
Yeah,
this?
listen, years ago, I have a friend that he was renting me a house in how do you call that island? It's in Florida. It's a beautiful island. The house was on the beach. It was amazing. And for some reason, the company that was managing the house, they was asking too many papers to me to rent this house, right? And I was like, no, but I want to rent the house for the next vacation and blah blah blah, blah. And no, I couldn't. And I was like, God, like, oh my God, I want so bad to go there. And well, at the end, I said, well, if all this is happening, is for a reason. I don't want to insist
Mm-hmm.
on renting a house if everything's going against me. Even if I'm praying, but everything is still saying no. But I didn't know what was the reason. Guess what? Nobody rent the house for the holidays that I wanted to rent, and the house went on fire. It burned
Oh
out the whole
gosh.
house.
Yeah, no, yeah, I now understand you, Veronica's question for a moment. I was like, yeah, I understand. Yeah, there's certain
Hmm.
things in life
Yeah.
that there's a purpose behind things, and sometimes we will think it's not God's will. But what if there's a bigger reason, like you were saying, Carlos?
Well,
And
what I'm
I have had
saying,
many
yeah.
experiences like that. Carlos, there was a moment
Uh
in
huh.
Colombia.
Uh huh.
I was looking for a job to work
Okay.
with a big job with mangroves when I was
Okay.
working as a scientist.
Okay.
And then I was the best because I did my dissertation in mangroves. I was one of the experts in that field. And when
Okay.
I went to get the job, I didn't get it. And then
What?
for a
What
long
happened?
time I was like, but I was the expert. How? Then there was two things. One, it was like you beat yourself, maybe I'm not so good, maybe this, why God is not helping me, why is not God? Yeah, because you think, how is this possible? Years pass.
Hmm.
And then one day I was doing another job, my life continued, but always with that thing in my head, of with the thought that
Hmm.
job should have been for me. And then
Okay.
I learned that the person in Colombia, there
Hmm.
was always a lot of problems with rebels and with uh, rebels killing people
Uh
and
huh.
the FARC, all these problems. And then I learned that the person that took the job went on a field trip, and
Uh huh.
all the group that went in a field trip got killed.
What?
Yes. So if that was an experience that was not for me, I mean, of course, I feel terribly sad for the people that died, but it
Hmm.
was not the experience for me to live. So sometimes we don't know why things happen.
Hmm.
And I think that's when the word faith, Veronica, come into place,
Yes,
because
definitely.
faith is trusting that God knows, the universe knows what is best. And sometimes there's things that we need for our growth, sometimes there's things that we don't need, so they get moved out of the way, and then we don't understand what is happening. So Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I don't know if you hear my story, but when I was like 6 or 7 years old, my neighbor came to my house to take me to the beach. You remember the story?
Yeah,
And
tell me again, Cara. Tell us.
yes,
Yes,
so
yes, yes.
yeah, she came the day prior to speak with my mom to take me to this trip to the beach. And my mom asked me, "Do you want to go?" I said, "Of course I want to go." Anyways, the next day, when the neighbor came to my house to look for me because they were leaving, my mom is like, "Carlos, come on, they're waiting for you. They're at the door. Come on, hurry up." And my mom, I don't know what's going on with Carlos. So when she go to my room, I was trying to stand up from my bed, but something was pushing me down on the bed.
Oh yeah. Oh gosh, the
And I was
story
like,
is
"What is this?"
incredible.
Yeah. And I was like,
Yeah.
"Mom, help me." So I feel something was pushing me, like, "Mom, there is something here." But it was invisible. I couldn't see it, you know? And my mom, "You don't want to go nowhere." And she slammed the door of
She
my
just
room
thought
like,
that you were playing.
I was like, "Mom, help me." But she didn't, I mean, she didn't know because she couldn't see anything, you know? And then that same afternoon, the bus that I supposed to go with the other kids have an accident and the kids die in that bus. And it wasn't me. So when God prevent you to do something, it's not that He's not answer your prayers. It's a blessing in your life, like He did with me in that moment. It was a blessing on my life that I didn't rent
Mm-hmm.
the house that I went for vacation because it went on fire. I didn't know it's gonna go on fire. I mean, who knows, you know? But when something like that is red flags that happen
Yeah, like it
for
was a
you to
gift. I
stop.
didn't get that job.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah,
There you
yeah,
go.
yes,
I
yes.
was with a friend what like three or 4 weeks ago. And years ago, and I was telling the story to him. I didn't know he was working for this ABC channel. I used to be a producer years ago, and I was telling him that I was interviewing a channel on ABC to be part of a project, and at the end, I didn't get in the project. And I was like, "What?" Same as you. And then my friend that I was talking with, and he said, "Like I was in the project, Carlos, and guess what? You have a huge angel behind you, and you didn't went to the project because it was horrible." Everybody that went
Oh,
to that project like regretted. So there
yeah,
was a
yeah.
reason that you didn't went in that project. And so like, bro, for years, I was like, why God didn't give me this? You know, I really wanted so
Mm-hmm.
bad, you know, and you didn't know the reason. And he said you was blessed for not going to
Yeah,
that project.
yeah.
So you never know what is behind, you know. We always see what we want to see, but we don't know what God's plans are behind, you know.
Yes,
What do you
yes.
think?
And yeah, and there's another thing, Carlos,
Uh-huh.
is sometimes we also, that's one part of it. And sometimes another part is that we have to do inner work
Uh-huh.
and we have to grow in our own capacity to have faith. Because imagine how many and in the examples with Jesus, how many times that he was healing people, but he didn't heal everybody. Why? And think about this,
Mm-hmm.
because it came from the person that was healed. He always said, "Your faith
Mm-hmm.
has healed you." He never ever said, "I heal you." He said, "Your faith heal you." So it's the principle of we have to grow in our faith too. It's the principle that the word has to come from within. We
Yeah.
have to learn to trust the inner voice, to
Oh yeah.
call for what we need, and to align with that prayer. So I love when he always say, "Your faith has healed you."
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's like we have to know that, and there's someone is writing here, Preselto. He's saying that sometimes the way he healed himself, or when somebody hurt him,
Mm-hmm.
what helped him, yeah, is to let me read here, to me him her a
Okay.
different way. They usually tell me to love him her first. So yeah, so it's like not just feeling that we can extend love to others, but we also
Mm-hmm.
can extend love to ourselves. Or can, if we have an inner pain, is how can
Mm-hmm.
I align and integrate and understand this pain? Is through love.
Yeah,
Love is the
definitely.
prayer. When is connection, is how can we heal through that power of connection
And you
and
know what is
understanding.
amazing? There is a friend
What?
right now, live from Colombia. He's writing on my phone and he's saying like, Carlos, I don't know how to tell you this. His name is Juan Alfonso, and he's saying like, I just witnessed a miracle. I'm just speechless. I'm like, wow.
Wow.
And I just want to let you know, because you speak about miracles, bro. This is amazing. I just give thanks to God that this is happening in my life. And I just told him, like, bro, I just gonna call you as soon as we finish our podcast. So you need to tell me what's going on. But yeah, I mean, if you pray, if you ask, miracles would come to your life. Yeah. And I just want
Yes.
to let you know too. I have another from the Bible that he said, Matthew 18:20. He said, "For where two or three are gathered in my name, I am there." When two or three or more are praying, like it's like 100 times that prayer multiplies for a lot of people. So if we find people to pray, I mean, somebody sick, somebody have an accident and is at the hospital, and we can make like a chain reaction with praying, that's going to help the person. I heard in the news 2 weeks ago that some scientific guy was making a study of how patients were getting better when their family and friends were praying, and they said that it was amazing how people was getting amazingly super good when people was praying, instead of the
Yeah.
people that was in the hospital and they didn't have nobody praying. So the power of praying is real. It works. So I definitely tell you guys, everybody that is watching the program right now, please pray. Please watch the movie that I told you. This movie right here that I got, Breakthrough. Do you remember the kid that he fell in
Yes,
the
yes,
water?
the one that fell.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And the war room. War room is built in your house, in your walk-in closet. Just take the clothes, and that's gonna be your church. You're gonna pray there, and you're gonna hang up on the walls. You're gonna put everything that you're asking God that you need in your financial situation, your family, love, school, work, and everything. And then you're gonna concentrate there and please and pray for everything go well. And that's gonna be like your little sanctuary that you're gonna go every day and get a connection with God. It's gonna be like your corner of praying that's gonna connect you with God. You know?
Yes, yes. I love how Paul is here, that God, source the universe, is pure love. So
Yes.
we can completely have faith that pure love is giving us love in the best way. That's absolutely beautiful,
Yeah.
because everything is love. So is although we cannot understand that, is, it's like the mom that the child is about to touch the stove and it's hot.
Mm-hmm.
The mom would even yell or even hit the hand of the child, don't do it, but he's doing it because he loves the child.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
sometimes even life is showing us things that in our perception can be hard or difficult, or why you're doing this, but is for our best. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes, like we were sharing the experiences, we don't realize it until later, but it's always and the perfect timing for also for us to understand, I get it, I understand why life brought things to me certain way. Now Patty's asking Carlos, Ingrid, how do we connect our higher self and with the beings of light? Oh, I think, and you will maybe share more with us, Carlos, but I think the way to connect with higher self, with some call it inner self, with
Yeah.
higher power, with beings of light, which we can account for whatever people feel about being, so like angels, ascended master, prophets, guides, is by quieting the mind. And there's another beautiful sentence, Carlos, that says,
Mm-hmm.
when
What
you
is?
pray,
Mm-hmm.
you're talking to God.
Mm-hmm.
And when you meditate or
Mm-hmm.
reflect, you are listening to God.
There you go.
So it's very
Beautiful.
important that we learn to be in that silence. That's when we reach connection. And people say, "But I'm quiet now. There's no music." It's not that. Our mind is like a disco, full of noise. We have so much inner noise that we think that we can hear and we can't. and we are very reactive, and we're working from reactivity. When we start really, really calming the mind, creating inner space, inner alignment, presence, now
Hmm.
we open ourselves to truly listen.
Yeah. And I just want to say something too about praying. Prayings protect you. Prayings protect your house, your car,
Yes.
yourself. I was watching a video last week about a witch that she was trying to send some bad vibe to a person, and every time that she was trying to see the house of the person, she said like she become a Christian, but that's why she was telling the story. It was a testimony, and she said like every time I was trying to see the person's house or the person, they have like crystal covered them. You know, it was a
Yeah.
protection over them.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard from another clairvoyant that said that every time that you pray, there is a like a line, like a fiber that come from your head and connect you to heaven. And as soon as you're finished to pray, it disconnects you and go back to you. So it's like a phone line, you know, but you don't see it. So just the people that have the capability to see angels, like I mean, I don't know, these kind of people can see that because I asked them, the prophets, you know, and they say, yeah, Carlos, every time you pray, that little line is start going up, 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 and it's really amazing, you know. So and pray for your house, pray for your animals, pray for your family, pray for your friends. I've been praying since I was a child. It's all something that I have on me all the times, and it helped me a lot, you know. And I pray for my friends, pray for the world, pray for everything. I think there is a chapter in the Bible that say pray, pray, pray without cease, because that's going to
Mm-hmm.
help you. I'm going to help everybody around you. And I just want to let you know another thing, Ingrid. Let's I want to respond to M. Orellana. She said, hey, I would love to follow you guys, but it's possible that you put subtitles in Spanish. And I just want to let you know where Ingrid is going to travel to Europe in the next few weeks. But when she come back, we're going to do an Spanish episode of these ones that we're doing right now in English. We're going to do it in Spanish too. So it's going to be more, you know, more closer with the Spanish community. So that's what I just want to add. You have something else to say?
Yes, yes, yes. No, that's. I was going to respond the same thing, Carl. That's how
Okay.
connected we are. Like, yeah, we want to do this for everybody. So Spanish is coming next. Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. And we have Paul here also saying there's such a profound and beautiful feeling as you are sharing today, Ingrid and Carlos. That feeling is the emanation of the divine within us. We can surrender to that beautiful feeling. This is so beautiful. Yes. Yes, and we're all connected, and we're like Carlos said, when two or more are together, and this is not just about prayer is presence in me in many different ways. Even the fact that we're all together here connected talking about this is already a moment of powerful connection.
Yes.
Then this is really beautiful, and I feel the energy. How about you, Carlos? I
Oh,
just feel
I
it.
told you when I came back from a near death
Hmm.
experience, I didn't know this was happening to me. So every time I'm in the company that I used to work before, I used to visit like 5 to 7 customers a day. And some customers, they have problems and they were very depressed. And I was like, let me tell you a story. So I was telling my story of my near death, you know. And as soon as I was finishing with these people to tell this story, and I felt like a wave of energy all over my body. And another
Mm-hmm.
way that I was feeling, it was every time that I was going to visit like a 80 or 90 years old lady, and she opened the door, I felt like a wave that came over me, like a heat wave, and hit me on my face. And I used to ask these ladies, like, excuse me, I just want to ask you a question. Do you pray every day? And she's like, oh my God, yes. How do you know? I said, because I just felt the
Yes.
prayer that you're doing in your house is energy, is really charged in your house. You're really, really protected,
Mm-hmm.
a really protected person. That's what I'm saying. Like, if anybody needs protection, pray all the
Pray.
time.
pray and always
Yeah.
and somebody mentioned that if imagination was something, I don't know what is the question, but talk about imagination. Yes, you can use your imagination in ways that are incredibly amazing. You can imagine a beautiful light surrounding you and
Hmm.
connecting you,
Hmm.
a light coming from your heart and surrounding
Yeah.
yourself with that light, or taking a shower and feeling, oh, when I shower, I'm being showered by the light of God. This is beautiful because the way I see God, Carlos, is that God is present in all things always. So if I even say a little prayer or a thank you when I'm eating my meal, I'm in that
Hmm.
state of prayer. If I
Yeah.
and I love to think when there was a moment where I was saying, God, I want to see you. God, I want to see you. And
Hmm.
it's when I received the message, and I think I already mentioned this the other day, but it was this message that said, in the air I am,
Yeah.
in the flower I am, in the birds I am, in the trees I am, in your hands I am. So it's like, what if I honor that presence of,
Yeah.
let's call it source, God, creator, divine,
Hmm.
light, because yeah, people call it different ways, but it's connect with that inspire you, that elevates you, that gives you joy, and that
Hmm.
opens your heart, and then you're in that state of elevation.
Yes, definitely,
Yeah, yeah.
100%. I just want to share too. I remember right now, my sister had a dream years ago, when the COVID was here. Because everybody was scared, nobody was get contagious with the COVID and all that. So she told me, like, last night I have a dream where an angel came to me and said, "Grab your Bible, open your Bible on Psalm 91, put your right hand on the front door of your house, and with the other hand you
Mm.
carry the Bible, and then you start saying Psalm 91, protection for my house. And after you finish with Psalm 91, you're gonna pray the Holy Father in your house, protect my house against anything."
Yeah.
And she said, when I was dreaming with this, as soon as I took my hands off the door, it was glowing. So my hands, in my hand, it
Mm.
was the whole prayer writing on the front door. So when I took my hand, it was glowing. So whatever was going through my house and seeing that, they could see the hands glowing. The
Oh God.
shadow, the shadow was glowing there. That wasn't her dream. So she said, "Do it." And I don't know if I told you. And during COVID, I ran a cabin in the mountains, and when I was in the cabin, I did that. I pray on the door. You don't believe what happened in the house. When I was praying for to God to take care of the house and to be everything was safe in the house, I was praying, and half of the way of Psalm 91, something explode under the house. And guess
Oh.
what the water tank of the house explode
Oh
under the
God.
house when I was half away of the. Yeah, it was a huge explosion, and the water came through the floor. It was crazy. It was, well, and well, you
Wow.
just saw right now when I was talking about praying, and the computer just unplugged itself, like it
Yes,
went out of the
it's,
air. So
it's the energy. This is beautiful and it's
yes,
elevating. And now that you talk about your sister, and we're about to be at the end of the show,
yeah,
but it's also the power of the speech.
yes,
We
definitely.
have to be very careful with what we say and how we
The
say it.
Yeah, this creates,
Yes, it creates or
voice.
destroys. And with
Yeah.
my sister the other day was telling me, Ingrid, you don't imagine, this is the first time in which she started to talk out loud, and in a way of prayer. And
Hmm.
she would say, I was by myself, and she started to pray out loud or talk loud, and she felt she felt like so much presence, so much energy, like she was being listened.
Wow.
So is oh, I think we could even continue, and
Oh my
we
God.
will
Yes.
come back and keep talking about all these subjects. This is just done. 1 hour doesn't give us enough time to share everything, but
I want
I
to say
think,
thank you for everybody that sent me
yeah.
their messages. Thank you for being here. Thank you for asking your questions. Um, I mean, your energy, your beautiful light is here with us, and we can feel it.
Yes, yes, and you know, before we go, Sefina here on Instagram was saying that she was watching Gaia, and she was seeing a rainbow light bodies and with
Hmm.
Jesus and Buddha, and the moment she turned and look outside the window, the sun had like a rainbow around. She said something really strange and different, and is
Wow.
life presents to us when we're open, the
Yes.
universe opens to us.
Oh,
It's like
100%.
yes, and you start really seeing beauty, and you start seeing God. Before we go,
Yeah.
Carlos, just to close, I said to
Sure.
people, God is playing hide and seek with us,
Oh, definitely.
and our job is to find him.
Yes.
So find him through your heart, find him through your prayer, find him through your attitude to be open and loving and receiving, and just go into that quietness and create the space to listen to God.
It's in your heart.
So
It's inside of you. Yeah.
thank you, everybody.
Thank
Thank you,
you, everyone.
Carlos. Yes,
Thank
thank
you.
you
It's gonna be.
everyone from
Yeah.
being here, and just to yes, thank you. Just reading all the last comments
Paul,
here, and
Rim,
wow,
Elena. Yeah, everybody that is
Rim,
here
Pat,
online.
everybody, much love from our heart to everybody
Yeah.
too.
It's Orellana, Pat. Yeah.
And then we will see them at the
Veronica.
same time next week, Carlos, again
Yes,
at
definitely. Yeah. Before you
this.
go to your trip in Europe. Yeah, next
Yes,
week, I'm 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you are 4 Central.
4 Central. Yes.
Yes.
So
So
we wait for you here
yeah,
next
we'll see you next
Wednesday.
week. God bless you guys. Pray, and you are all in hands of God. God bless you.
Yes,
Take care.
yes. God bless you, and don't forget, pray.
Yes. Thank you. Take care. Bye. Have a
Bye.
good weekend. Take care.
Yes, you too.